See, we're live. Okay. Make this quick video. Don't want to be too long-winded, but I really wanted to talk about perfectionism, especially when it comes to dating. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of men, they think they have to be something that they're not. And what I mean by that is when you're dating and you want to attract the right woman, you feel that I need to be this, I need to be that, I need to be perfect, I need to have all of this, I need to have all of that. But the thing is, a woman, a real woman, is not looking for that in a man. She's looking for a man to really be himself, be present, and to know who he is. But if you're not being yourself, it's going to be so hard to attract a woman. It's going to be so hard to attract a woman. And that's just like, even if you are, well, you say you are timid, you're shy, you're passive, I'm willing to argue that's not really who you are. I'm willing to argue that's not really who you are because if I put you in a situation that you really enjoyed, say for instance, you're a video gamer, you're really good at it, you've been doing it for years, you love it. If I put you in that situation and you're in a competition with other individuals that are playing the game as well, and there's women there that are playing the game just like you, they're also gamers, nothing crazy, you're not going to be as nervous. You're not going to be as nervous. You're not going to be feeling like you have to be perfect because your mind is going to be so focused on that game that you don't care who's watching. You don't care who's looking. You're focused on the game. That's you. That's what you've been doing for years. That's who you become, right? So if you are focused on that game and you're not focused on anything else, how come you can't be like that when it comes to talking to women, dating women, attracting women? You can't be like that because that's not who you are when you try to start dating. And what I mean by that is when you're dating a woman, right? You're trying to be something that you're not, or you're trying to be something that you think that you are, but you're actually not. And what I mean by that is you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to be great. You're trying to do everything to put her on a pedestal. And then some of you guys, you get real passive. You become afraid. You get timid. You get shy. But the thing is, that's still not who you are. As a man, we're not meant to be timid and shy and passive. You know that, right? But you've been taught that either through other weak men, if your mother raised you, or even if your mother and father raised you, but your father was passive, you were taught how to be passive, how to be timid, how to tiptoe around and not rock the boat, walk on eggshells. And when you do that, how can you attract a woman? How can you attract a woman when you're not being yourself? And like I said before, if you're timid and passive and shy, that's not who the fuck you are. If you're around your friends and you're doing some type of event or sport, you're not going to be afraid because you're focused in on what you're doing, because that's who you are. That's what you've been doing for years and years. That's just your personality. That's just who you are. You get what I'm saying? That's who you are. And when you try to be more than who you are, you're on the other side. You're no longer timid and shy or walking on eggshells. But even when you try to impress the woman with gifts and flowers and chocolates, and you try to do all these things and be extravagant and feel that you need to dress a certain way, you got to speak a certain way. When you do those things, you're still not being yourself. And women can see through that. So when you're doing that, right? When you're trying to do all this extra shit to put her on a pedestal, she sees that. When you're trying to be passive and you're trying to be afraid and you're just shy and timid and I don't know, I'm nervous. I've never been with a pretty girl before. She knows that's not you. But you just don't understand that. You just don't understand that. And one thing I will say is women are attracted to men who are themselves. And let me give you examples so it can make a lot more sense. Me personally, I like evergreen trees. I like all kind of trees, right? Mainly, I really enjoy going into nature. Like if you're from Seattle, Washington, or you're in Northern California, or you're in Oregon, you know they have the trees and the mountains, and then you see the snow and all that stuff. That's what I really enjoy. I really enjoy seeing that because it's nature. You may be thinking like this Marine guy, he loves nature. Like, well, you think about it, a lot of Marines, we're in the field, we're out in nature all the time. But what I'm trying to say is, the reason why I really love those trees and the mountain and the snow. Do you know why I love that shit? Take a guess. I'm asking you right now. Do you know why I love that? I want you to put it in the comments. What's up, everybody that wrote on here? But I want you to take a wild guess. Why do I love the trees, the mountains, the snow when it's wintertime? Why do I love that? You want me to tell you why? Because it's nature. Nature doesn't change for us. Nature is just what it is. It's not going to change and say, hey, there's Saul. You know what? I'm going to try to be the best I could be. I'm going to try to be different. No, you know what nature says? Nature says, hey, this is just who I am. You take it or leave it. And I ended up taking the way nature is, and that's what I love. Now, if the trees started to die and it just looked like shit, yeah, it's part of nature. It's seasons and stuff like that. But if I seen a tree that's dead or it's burned, I'm not going to really enjoy the view. That's not relaxing to me. The same way, if the tree had lights and all kind of glittery shit on there, I'm not going to enjoy it because that's not what it naturally is. You get what I'm saying, right? It's not what it naturally is. So nature doesn't try to change to appease to anyone. It's just what it is. And so when you're a man, a woman looks up to a man and respects a man that doesn't try to change to appease her or put her on a pedestal. And you do that. You do that, but you have to stop doing that shit. You have to really stop trying to be perfect. That's the worst thing you can do as a man is trying to be perfect, because when you're trying to be perfect, women see that and they know, okay, he's trying to be perfect. He's trying to dress a certain way. He's trying to talk a certain way. He's trying to buy the flashy shit. He's trying to do this and that. And he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it because he's trying to attract me. So since he's trying to attract me, you know what? I could take advantage of this guy. Because even though he may seem masculine or aggressive or whatever some people like to use for defining a man, a real woman can see through that. Now, if you're that timid, shy guy, it's the same thing. A woman's like, oh, he's timid, he's shy, he's nervous. You know what? I could take advantage of him. I could take advantage of him. But you're not supposed to understand that. And see, here's the funny thing right here. You have different people. If you're in my chat, you have different people on here saying different things that my wife and I would laugh about this, because certain things that are negative, number one, you don't know what I am. Let's see. I think we still going live. Okay, yeah, we're still going live. So the thing is, women, guys, women see the shit, right? So whenever you speak a certain way, women see through that. You think you're being sneaky, you think you're being clever, but you have to understand women see through that. You have to understand it. If you don't understand it, I'm telling you, women see through who you are. If you're being timid, if you're being shy, if you're being aggressive, you're trying to be super masculine, you're trying to do all these extravagant things just to please her and to impress her, women see through that. And you're asking me, how do I know this? How do I know this? Guys, I've been dating since I was 15. I'm 39. I'm dating for a long time. I've dated women from all over, from different countries, from different cities. And the funny thing is, they always end up telling me that, hey, I liked you because you were not trying to impress me. I like you because your confidence, your style, you're not timid, you're not afraid. You told me like it is. And that's the biggest thing that women look at, because they have to look for a guy that can lead them. But if you're trying to be someone other than yourself, you're looking to be led. You get what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments before I get out of here, guys. I got things to do. Goku751K, hello. What's going on, Goku? Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. See, I don't know who this person is. Ryan, okay. What's up, Ryan? Where are you from, bro? I'm from all over, man. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. This is funny. Hello, black man. How are you? You don't know what I am. You're a good man. That's true. I'm a good man. Please leave to lectures only, talking to online. I don't know what that means. Shut up, bro. Yeah, if I'm gonna open up a private membership, and I'm going to share with you men who really want to learn the shit underneath the surface, because a lot of men are surface level. They're surface level. They really don't know what they're talking about. They really don't know what's going on, and I'm gonna just watch what I say. I'll just say that I'm gonna be exposing things that you need to know about, not just women. Obviously, you need to know about women and yourself, but there's some guys you got to watch out for. There's guys that you have to watch out for, because some guys are not really good in themselves. They don't really know who they are. They don't really know who they are. And when you don't know who you are, your brain and your mind plays tricks on you. It plays tricks on you because you don't know who you are. So we're very receptive to our senses. And when you don't know who you are, you can be easily manipulated. And sometimes, not knowing who you are, it can turn into some pretty bad things. And those are the things that show up in your life. Those are the things that shows up when you're dating. So in the membership, I'm not opening it anytime soon, but I just want to let you know I'm going to be exposing things that is not mainstream, things that you're not going to find online, things that you're not going to find in books, things that come from experience, comes from wisdom of centuries old. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be talking about that just so you can be aware, because it's not just women you got to watch out for. It's not. There's also men. My wife and I, we watched this movie called Lurker, something like that. And I'm not going to say what it's about, but I will say that when we watched it, I thought it was going to be something totally different. But as the movie went on, we started to realize and notice that this motherfucker's crazy. This motherfucker's manipulative. And he does some pretty fucked up things in the movie. So when you do see the movie, it's called Lurker or Lurking or something like that. I'll put it in the description. But watch the movie. Just watch the movie. Don't necessarily watch for entertaining or entertainment. Just watch the movie Lurker or Lurk. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And when you do watch the movie, come back to this video, comment underneath like, hey, I watched the movie. I see what you're talking about. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So we'll be discussing things like that, different homework assignments that you can do, different things like that to really help you understand not just yourself, not just women, but also the type of men that you have to watch out for. Because sometimes men mess it up, or should I say males or guys mess it up for men who are trying to be great, men who are trying to be themselves, and men who are just trying to live life and attract women without any drama or bullshit. So we'll be talking more about that. But other than that, I think I pretty much covered everything. Were you in the Marines? Yes, I was in the Marine for 10 years, Carter. Paula Jimenez, I think, yeah. How you doing, Paula? Glad to have you here. So if you're new here to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Going to be talking a lot about dating, a little bit about relationships, but I mainly shifted this channel because I wanted to talk about dating and self-mastery, because one thing I've noticed throughout my whole life is we always try to rush into things. We try to rush into relationships. We try to rush into marriages. We try to rush into buying houses, buying cars, contracts. We try to rush into so many things. But we never try to rush into getting to know ourselves. We never rush into trying to understand ourselves and really have that introspection. And that's the thing I'm an advocate about, because there's so many men that I've talked to and coached that are in relationships, and they said, man, if I would have known this so many years ago before I got married, this would have saved me the heartbreak. If I would have known about this years ago, if my father would have taught me this, I would have known about this and not had the same mistakes that I have now. So what I'm going to do, and I mentioned this in my other video, if you watched it already, it's another live, but I'm really going to be talking to men that are dating. You're single, you're dating, you want to be in a relationship, but you just don't know where to start. You just don't know what you need to work on. You just don't know all the things that you need to know that's going to help you be more of a better man for yourself, and also avoid the pitfalls and the mistakes that a lot of men get into because they rush into things for the sex, for the looks, sometimes the culture when it comes to getting married. I'm going to be covering all of that, but the main thing I'm going to be covering is you mastering yourself. I'm not going to be talking about all the internet terms that a lot of young guys use, because I was doing all this shit pre-internet. I was born in 1986. So pre-internet, I was out there experiencing the shit that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I was out there experiencing the shit that I'm going to be talking about. And so it's going to be very, very beneficial for you to just stay in the loop. Make sure you watch my videos. Make sure you subscribe. And when I do come out with the membership, that's where we can all deep dive, because I can only talk about so much on YouTube for certain reasons. But when it comes to the membership, that's where we can actually log in, talk to each other, and I can see where you're at, really help you out, regardless of your situation, really help you out. Almost like a little bit of coaching, consultation, you know, but really make you feel that you're a part of something, some type of brotherhood where we hold each other accountable, but we also focus on our goals, our missions, what we want to be better at, what we want to improve on, whether it's yourself, whether it's your dating life, your relationships. We're going to focus on all of that. And I think that's very beneficial because a lot of young men don't have that. A lot of men are afraid to talk about things like that. A lot of men try to keep things away from you from learning to better yourself. They try to gatekeep you. And I'm not here to do that. I'm here to see you be the best that you can be, because I have a son, I have nephews, I have young men that look up to me, men that I recruited into the military. So that's my purpose and duty for this channel, is to really help you, become a better man, to master yourself. Because when you master yourself, everything else falls into place. And the things that I'm going to share, you're going to see where other people and other men lack that in their life. You're going to see it because you know yourself. When you don't see, the thing is, when you don't know yourself, you don't know who you are, you can't see what's going on with other people. You can't see the red flags when it comes to dating. You can't see the men that are trying to do you wrong, or you just don't see any of that because you're not right with yourself and you don't know yourself. But when you know yourself and you accept who you are, and you stop trying to be perfect, and you stop trying to do things for women, whether you're trying to do the most or you think that you're shy and timid and nervous, we're going to take all that out of you so you can just be purely who you are. When you remove all the bullshit, the only thing that is left is who you are. There's no power tripping, there's no ego tripping, there's no fear that you can't handle. There's more clarity. Your vision becomes more clear. You know who you are. You're confident. You have high self-esteem. All those things are the things that I'm going to help you build upon. But I'm not trying to keep yapping. I just realized it's 20 something minutes. I got to take care of some things, but I just wanted to make another live video just to kind of update you, let you know what's going on, and just talk about perfectionism, trying to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. The only thing that's perfect is nature. So let nature be itself. Let nature be perfect. But you just be yourself, and you'll attract the type of women that want to be with you, not something that you're not. All right. So I'm going to read these comments and see if anybody wrote something. We got, thank you for your service, Semper Fi. Hey, appreciate that, Carter. Really appreciate that. I don't know if you're in the military or not, or if you're in the Marines, but I really appreciate that, and definitely means a lot. So, but other than that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you like what I'm talking about, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And in the future, when I do create the membership, I'll definitely put something out where you can sign up for email, and then I'll let you know, but I'm not spamming anybody. But you're 12. So we got young men. You're a young man, right? Waiting. I want to be in the Marines though. We got to talk about that, Carter. Just make sure that you're doing it for the right reason. Make sure you're not doing it for the money, or you're doing it for the travel and the women. But make sure you join for the right reason. Like I said earlier, I recruited kids into the Marine Corps, and I always kept it real with them. You know, I can refer you to the guys I recruited. You can ask them. But the biggest thing is make sure you're doing it for the right reason. When you do something for the wrong reason, it may feel good at that time, but later on you're going to have to pay for it. But, you know, not trying to deter you. I'm just saying make sure you're doing it for the right reason. But definitely, hey, you're 12 and you're watching this video. That says a lot about you, because some young men think they know everything, and some older men still think they know everything and don't want to learn, because the moment that you stop learning is the moment that you're dying. So make sure that you always learn. Make sure that you always ask the right questions, and just make sure you do what's best for you. Yep. For the Marine, hey, exactly, man. Hey, it's a blessing to be here in the United States. I've traveled around the country. I've been some places that it made me have a reality check at a young age. So, yeah, I get you. But Carter, I appreciate the comments, man. Definitely stick around. Paula, I appreciate it. Who we got? Ms. Bear. I don't know that person. I don't know. But everybody else that's on here, I appreciate it. I'm about to call it a day, and I will talk to you later. Peace.